Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about game 151 of the regular season, where the Astros lose 2-0 to the Baltimore Orioles in what I think could genuinely be argued as the worst offensive performance I have ever discussed for the Houston Astros. So, 2 hits, 4 hard hit balls, no walks. Expected batting average for the individual game of, let me just refresh myself, 147. This was one of the worst. I think this was the worst performance I've seen from the Astros from an offensive standpoint since I've made these videos. I think this was the worst because I genuinely don't recall a time we've been 2 hit with 2 base runners. I don't remember a time that has happened. I'm sure it has, but not with that few hard hit balls, and not against a pitcher with a ERA nearing 4.5. And I'll say this, I'm not gonna be, it was over 4.5, excuse me, it was almost 5. What am I saying? I'm not angry. I'm mad. I'm upset that this happened. This was, embarrassing. That being said, I'm not riled up the way that I often am, just because, the seeding is locked up. We know who is going to be where. The Dodgers are going to be the 1 seed in Major League Baseball. We're going to be 2, but we're going to be 1 in the American League. We know. The Dodgers, I want to say, have 5 or 6 games on us with, 10-ish left. It would be nearly impossible for us to make that up. The Yankees are not catching us. They just aren't. And so we know who is going to be where. So I'm not going to get too upset, but I am going to kind of dunk on you because, you had 2 base hits in an entire game against a guy with an ERA that was almost 5. So I'm going to send it to you guys in the comments because I'm genuinely interested. What was the worst part for the offense tonight? Was it the fact that we had 2 hits? Was it the fact that we didn't draw a single walk? Was it the fact that we had 4 hard hit baseballs all evening? Or that we didn't put a man in scoring position all night? This was a gem. There's just no one to talk about offensively. Payne had a pair of hard hit balls and had a base hit. DeBon had a hit. That's handy. That's good. It was just not a wonderful game for the offense. Verlander was fine. I didn't think Verlander was bad. 6 innings of work. Did give up 6 hits, which is not ideal. Pair of runs. He had the 1 bad inning in the second inning. From there on, I thought he was fine. 5 hard hit balls through 6. 4 strikeouts is lower than you'd like. No walks is, quite literally as perfect as you can get in the walk department. Granted, the strike zone was kind of abysmal tonight. It was, that was horrific, the strike zone. But it was at least bad for both teams. So there's that. Stennett came in, gave up a base hit. That was about it. Will Smith, no, thank you much. He was fine. Gave him a walk in his inning of work. Gave him a hard hit ball. Wasn't awful. Just the offense made you kind of want to cry. Which I can almost wrap my head around losing this game, but not to the pitcher we did. Not to insult Kyle Brandish, but man, a guy who enters with an almost 5 ERA, and people will say, well, he dominated the Astros before, and I would say, neat, he has an almost 5 ERA. That's super cool that he had a good game against us once. Overall, he's not having a wonderful season. If it was a pitching matchup that heavily favored the Orioles, the Rays, if it heavily favored the Orioles, I'd understand that. It didn't. It heavily favored the Astros. And I understand the Orioles were obviously not going to lay down and die because they are fighting for any scrap of life they have in the playoff race, and I understand that. But boy, oh boy, this was just kind of rough. Although I will say that it was on brand for the Astros to give Justin Verlander not a single run of run support. And in his 6 innings on the mound, not even so much as put a man in running or in scoring position for him. Hey, play all the hits. Again, because we have everything locked up and we're about to reach 100 wins. The next win will put us there. I'm not going to be too hard. I'm upset, but it happens. I'm not going to lose my mind and yell and scream about it. Hopefully, the Astros tomorrow can get some redemption, reach the century mark, and put this game behind us. We're going to send Jose Urquidy to the mound, and the Orioles are going to send Dean Kramer to the mound. That game will be at 7:05 Eastern, 6:05 Central, and I'll be here afterwards to talk about it, but that's all I have to say for the evening. So, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Stros.